Honestly, at first I was like, wait, a deaf DJ? I'm like, how is that even possible, you know?
Honestly, my whole life, we didn't know that I was deaf until, I would say, age 11. It was difficult for my parents to understand that I had a hearing problem, because I am deaf completely on my right side due to nerve damage on birth, and on my left side, I only have 60% hearing. So there was a little bit of hearing in there. Finally, at 5th grade, my mom took me to a doctor's just to make sure everything was fine, and that's when she found out about the nerve damage and my left hearing being very poor, and I have difficulties on faint noises and understanding people. Now, the one big question that everybody had asked was, you know, you're deaf, but you speak normal. And the way I talk normal is by one voice, one whole breath. And that's basically what I'm doing right now. So for the past 15 seconds, it's been the same voice, the same level, same breath. And that's how I can maintain my levels. Once the doctor found out and made it official that, you know, I was legally deaf, he highly discouraged me using headphones, CD players, anything that could affect my last hearing that I had, the last 40% of my left ear. However, that really didn't stop me. I remember sneaking out of the house with my father's tape player and headphones and just tuning into everything.
Robbie Wallace himself is a great kid. He's very young and he's very eager to learn, and he wants to be successful. You know, but due to, you know, prior history that he's had with other people and what he's experienced in this industry, he's sometimes a little timid, but you know, he's starting to break out of his shell, and you know, honestly, that's bad news for a lot of other people in this industry. That a kid that has they call it a disability, I call it an advantage, because you know, he has to focus on the music. He actually has to care about it, and a lot of DJs don't care.
I do it by perfection with actually a little sticker here, so I know exactly when the first beat starts and just the feeling of the vibration. And that's why I have my headphones on too, because it's the techniques, you know what I'm saying, perfect, awesome. And they send a nice vibration into my head and my face so I can feel everything. It took me a while to learn, but I definitely took a lot of dedication into, you know, I went to a lot of clubs, and I would sneak and hang behind the booth just to get a glimpse of each DJ. And every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would be there at 9 o'clock when no one was there and just practice. My first official gig was at the Stino's Lounge. I was 19 still. And I remember that's when I caught my first whiff of energy from the crowd, and how, like, the response of energy for each song you would drop, and when the bass hits, everybody's hands would go up, and you would see them screaming and just cheering and bouncing everywhere. And that's where I got my first sensation of, this is what I want to do, you know, like that energy of controlling them, and not controlling necessarily, but being the puppet master, and like whatever you're feeling, you show them. It's a whole nother world, man. It's basically another drug. Like, you get addicted to it. Right after that, I mean, I started working very hard. I got my first gig in Atlanta. I flew out to Atlanta, and I was DJing at Door 44. That was my first official out-of-state gig. That's when I got picked up by my manager right now, Anthony Yepes, which is the Artist Music Group. And I got sponsored by Liquid Lightning as well.
one of our guys, Chops, was, he kept telling me about this one kid, Robbie Wild, and he's like, hey man, you gotta check him out. He's a deaf DJ. And honestly, at first I was like, wait, a deaf DJ? I'm like, how is that even possible? I'm like, DJing is all about being able to hear the music. So, I gained some interest in kind of like finding out a little bit more about him and what the whole deaf DJ thing was. And I thought it was going to be a gimmick, because this industry right now it's very gimmicky. So I was very skeptical at first, and basically, I looked more into it. I saw a couple videos, and we invited him over to our studio over at Liquid Lightning Energy Drink, and he did a set for us live on air on our website, our web show, sorry, and he did a really good job, and I was very impressed and very surprised that a kid that pretty much deaf, about 95% deaf, was able to do as good or better than guys with 100% hearing. So yeah, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with very soon. That's without a doubt.
I definitely want to reach the top, be the best of what I can do, and just show everybody, show from the deaf to the disabled to the blind, anything, that nothing's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you put your heart out there and you have the ambition to do it, I mean, that's what it is. Is there any way I could take this off? Do you think it's necessary? It's bothering me a little bit because I can't really hear myself.